So my next guest, she's a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? But most importantly, she's a businesswoman. And when we met probably, I think, about a year or two ago now. It's been about a year, I think. And one of the things that she said to me that I thought was like really very amazing and just powerful was her saying that she got to a point where she was able to like comfortably quit her job and just go into this thing full time. And I just thought that was bold. I thought it was you had to have a lot of faith to be able to make that move. And I'm gonna let you talk a lot more about all the stuff that you got going on. But guys, please join me in welcoming Janece to the show. What's going on?
Hi. I'm so glad to talk to you. We're supposed to be going out and talking.
I know.
And I'm just like, I get an opportunity to at least see you face to face and talk to you.
Right. It's a lot going on, man. Just we're working on a lot of things, as you know, but we're definitely gonna hang out. That's gonna happen. But welcome to the show, man. Thank you for taking time out to join us and being one of the first guests in the show.
No problem. Anytime, my support 24/7.
Right.
So, who am I?
Yeah. Talk to us about what are you about? Because I know that you rep that 202 strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right at the 301. Yep, definitely. But tell us about your process. First of all, she's an AKA, y'all, and it's like she's one of like my favorite AKAs. It's only two that are like my favorite. Is you and it's my friend Niall Campbell. Like you guys are like my favorite AKAs in the world because I love them AKAs and then it's the Zetas. Those are like my favorite, my favorites. So, but tell us about your process, how far you've come, and what you have going on in your business and everything.
So I started, a lot of people don't know, I started as straight out of college as an investigator for Department of Treasury. And I completely hated my job. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, or I left my job, took off about a year, and I went to LA with a friend, not searching for anything. We actually went just for a vacation, and I started to research during around that same time, like, what do I like? Like, what brings me joy? And always been like artsy things. So while we were in LA, I just took the opportunity to start looking at beauty schools. And I don't know why I gravitated towards makeup. Initially, it was special effects that got me, not really the beauty industry. Getting into the beauty industry of things really was just because of my mentor and me coming back from LA, enrolling in Bennett Institute into their makeup certification program and meeting my teacher, which now we call each other God sisters. That's how I really got into that journey. But people ask me all the time, like, oh, how did you get into makeup or hair? Or even now, a lot of people don't know the lace wig industry is a very big industry right now. And I've been doing it for over 17 years. People don't know that. I've been doing lace wigs since I was a senior in high school. So it's by chance. It's by prayer. It's just by kind of reverting back to my childhood, see what brings me joy, what would make me want to get up in the morning and do the things that I do. And a lot of things that I have done within the beauty industry, it's by word of mouth. It's networking, meeting people like yourself, and just having genuine conversations that actually lead to opportunities.
Right, absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a lot of opportunities coming. It's a lot of things that we're gonna be working on, down the line. So I'm just gonna just say right now, put it out there. And like you said, genuine conversations, because that was one of the things that really, when we met, it was just that. I just saw somebody who was really just out in the streets, like really just about that life. And to take that leap of faith, I think it was something I thought was just really amazing, because I know a lot of my followers are young people, people who are, just like yourself, and trying to make something and trying to have, whether it's a business, whatever it is. And so if you can just really talk to us about some of the challenges that you faced in saying, you know what, I'm gonna quit my 9 to 5 and I'm gonna go full time into this thing, because I mean, first of all, that's a blessing, but we're gonna talk about some of the stuff that you've done so far. But that beginning process of you saying, this is what I want to do, and I think is so powerful, because there's so many people that wake up, I mean, with everything going on, but they're still doing, you know, jobs that they don't really like, just to be able to have a paycheck and that sort of thing. And for you to say, you know what, I went to school for this, I love this, a great job, but it's not just about what's a great job, it's about what am I passionate about, and some of the challenges you face so far, because we talked about it and it wasn't easy at all to take that step. So if you could just speak on some of those challenges.
I think what first and foremost, I gotta say I'm thankful for having parents that had grounded me and supported me regardless of what it was, because without that support, I don't think that I would have been able to make that transition. But even though I did have that support, it was still challenges along the way, like not being able to pay certain bills because, or putting gas in my car, driving 2 to 3 hours for a wedding that only paid maybe a good 175 to do 10 or 13 people. Now that would now pay a lot more, but because I was just starting out. So I think the biggest challenge was being okay with not being there yet. And those struggles of saying, I'm just starting out, I can't charge $250 per person because nobody knows my work and my quality. And to be honest with myself, I'm not even there as an artist yet, because I'm just starting out and learning the journey myself. So I think for me, the biggest struggle was being okay where I am in that moment. And funny that I was listening to the guest before me of how different our journey was within the beauty. Like, she started saying things like she was following YouTubers and she wanted to see what I liked, what I didn't like. For me, that was a no-no. Like, even to this day, and it's no disrespect to other people, I cannot follow YouTubers. I cannot follow Instagram people of clout or whatever, because for me, it hinders my journey, because now I'm looking at them and thinking that I should be there. And I missed the opportunity to say I'm on page 5 when they have been in this journey for so long and they're already on page 35. And now I compare my journey to them. So it has helped me along the way and not stress about certain things of where I should be in my journey. I think that's probably like maybe the biggest struggle that I've had within this journey, because networking has always came easy to me. I do it when I want to. I'm kind of more of an energy person. If somebody gives me really good energy, I really connect with them and keep in contact. So that has never been an issue for me. But it was all about mindset and knowing that my time is coming, that today is not going to be the same as tomorrow, and I might have, next week might be the best week of my life, and then the following week might be the worst, or next year might be worse. It's enjoying the roller coaster ride and not expecting something to happen right away.
Wow. Whew. I'm seeing a lot of comments right now, and I can't even respond to all of them, but man, you just preached. You wow. Yes. Oh my goodness. I mean, as you were talking, I was taking notes and everything, but one of the things that you said was being okay with not being there yet. I mean, that's just amazing, because you know, a lot of times we come in and it was like, oh my God, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, it's going to be just mind blowing. But you came in saying, you know what? I'm expecting that it's not going to be just a smooth ride. You know, it's going to be some ups and downs and all of that good stuff, but I'm okay with that. And coming in with that perspective is important. Other thing you said, and I do want to put this in context, because a lot of people, one of the things I'm big on is everything, especially in the media world, everything has to be placed in context when people say things. When you talked about not watching YouTube and that sort of thing, she wasn't saying don't watch YouTube. If you guys were, that's not what she was saying, but she was saying she wasn't comparing herself to what she was seeing and what's out there. So you might watch, but understand that this person that you're watching may have been in the game 20 years. So you just starting out, you can't say, oh my goodness. I mean, I want to, because I think that happens, you become ungrateful and you don't know, you're not able to work on your process. So you can watch other people, but what she was saying is don't compare yourself to somebody else, knowing at right now is important. And that's what she was saying. And you talked about networking, and I think it's very important too. Like that's key, because who you know is still very important, but a combination of, I think you said, is who you know and what you know. And something else that you said, and being able to work on your process to where now you're getting more opportunities, but it's because you were able to work on your craft as well. So sure, you can know somebody, but I can get you in the room to meet people, but it's at the end of the day, what takes you to the final destination is really what you know. And you talked about that. I think it's very, very, very important. And finally, you talked about the mindset. I mean, I think it's amazing. That's a refreshing perspective, because I feel a lot of times that's not something you hear all the time. People don't say, it's not going to be one of my favorite songs. What's that song by the Campbells? It says, nobody told me that the road was going to be easy, and I think for me right now is just starting to have that kind of perspective that it wouldn't always be easy, but coming with your sleeves rolled up, ready for whatever the day brings, and that sort of thing. And I think it's important that just because there are challenges along the way doesn't mean that you're not going to make it to where you need to get to. I think that's powerful. You just, somebody just said that's a whole word right there. You know what I'm Oh man, somebody to tweet that. You said you said the page 5. Ty said the page 5 versus the 35. That's just amazing. Like, you just, we're on different pages right now, but being okay with where you're at, and man, that's something that's just powerful, man. And I remember just thinking about this whole dynamic sometimes where we feel like we've been in a game, because there are times when you feel like it's my time, and I'm ready to just go out there, and it's like, God, why am I not? I mean, so and so. I mean, listen. I've been in the game for 10 years. They just came in the game 2 years, and look at what's going on. And I'm just realizing now that sometimes God hides you for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And there's always a set time. And the amazing thing about God is that He's never late. Like, He may not come when you want Him, like we say, but it's always in time. And I found that when it's your time, God has a way of just really just paying you for everything that you feel like you've lost, and every time that you feel like you've lost. And it's like, when it comes, it's like things happening from left, right, and center, all because it's just an appointed time for you. And I think that that's something that's a word, that's a message for me personally. But I want you to speak to that young woman right now who is saying, you know what, I've been praying about this thing. I've been working hard on it. I've been doing my research, and I'm just ready to take that step right now. With everything going on, it's some things that's in my heart that I want to manifest. I was telling my friend Cleavon, and he's going to be on the show, y'all. He's just an amazing brother. But I was talking to him about how I feel like this is a time for us creatives to, like, whatever it is that God has put in your heart, this is a time for you. This everything that's going on right now, just have a different perspective. If you have a concept, whatever it is, this is a time for you to write the vision down. This is a time for you to start planning and all that good stuff. And I know with somebody right now who's watching, who's saying, listen, it's a concept, it's a business that I've been thinking about, whatever it is that I want to go into, and you being able to wake up and say, you know what, I want to do what I love. I want you to speak to that young woman right now who is watching, that young man who's saying, I want to take a bold step or a leap of faith. Speak to them, talk to them right now.
So I'll say, first things first, trust your gut. Don't anybody get into your head about what you're not supposed to be doing, or where your journey may not go, or the leap of faith that you're trying to take is too big. I think it's all about trusting your gut and your instinct, but not not jumping before you have everything lined up in a row. You can have instincts. You can feel like, oh, I know this is gonna work. I'm really feeling it in my gut. This is a great idea. You still have to plan and process everything and get to that moment where you understand that things are going to happen. The stresses, the roller coasters are going to come. You can't get discouraged. You can't think that it's going to be a microwavable thing for you. A career, when they consider something career, it's considered long term. So nothing is not going to happen overnight. But if you trust your gut, you plan accordingly to what your goal is, and you actually is diligent in what you want, it's going to happen. At the end of the day, you might not be religious, but my whole journey was all about just trusting God. Even when I felt like I was on a totally different path, it was still waking up every morning saying, whatever you have in your will for me today, regarding my career, not my life, not when I get in this car, can I make it to work or can I not, but regarding my career. If I'm at a gas station and God put me into place with somebody that's pumping their gas also, that's God. I didn't meet them. I met them by the will of God and the will of God only. So this journey is not your journey. You got the feeling, and the gut feeling of what you're supposed to be doing is because He's showing you exactly what you're supposed to be doing, how you're supposed to be blessing other people. Who can you now be mentors with when you become 10, 15 years down the line? It's all alignment. It's just about trusting the journey and understanding that the journey is not going to fail you, even if you feel like a failure through the midst of it.
Woo! That's man, I was taking notes. I was taking notes because there's a lot of stuff that you said that I think it's amazing, and I see a lot of people still just checking in. You spoke on just trusting your gut. That's important, and making sure that you don't take that leap unless you're sure that everything is like lined up, not being discouraged, and trusting God and just trusting the journey as well. And knowing that regardless of what challenges you face along the way, you're still going to get to where God wants you to be. And I think that's really amazing for this process and for what we do. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. But you've done a lot of work, and there was something, before I say this, before I ask you this, something you said, and I wanted to bring it back. You were saying something about God putting something in your heart is because of what He wants you to do, and I think it just reminds me of something that I think it was probably Denzel Washington who was saying that when you desire a thing, that's God's proof sent to you ahead of time that it's already yours. Like when you started feeling in your heart, that's Him sending it ahead of time. That's already yours. And sometimes we get discouraged because what the vision that we've seen is a lot different from what we're currently facing right now, and where we're at may not necessarily be a reflection of the vision. So your current situation may not be a reflection of your vision and of the journey. But if you understand that it's a journey, it's a journey, and because of that, it's not a question of where I'm at right now. It's not about a destination. It's a journey. So even though your current situation may not be a reflection of the vision of whatever it is that you've seen, know that it's a journey, and it's not just. And he talked a lot of amazing stuff about even just getting started in the industry, like how he went to an audition after another and just not succeeding and that, but he kept going. And that was one thing he said. He said, I never really understood the concept of having something to fall back on. I just knew that this was it. And in spite, because a lot of times when challenges come, we're like, maybe that's not God. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, because if it was God, and I was just telling somebody the other day, I was like, just because God is involved in it doesn't mean it's not going to be challenging. people forget that. I mean, I could tell you different examples in our world today from the Bible, whatever it is, that people that God said, this is what I want you. I mean, think about even the whole story of the children of Israel, like coming out of Egypt. Like that whole, God spoke a word. It's time for them to leave. But oh my goodness, the process of coming out was, whoo. Anyway, that's a word for somebody. I don't know. That's.
I tell people this all the time when they ask me, like, how do I know it's my gut and trust in the journey? I said, each year has 4 seasons. You're going to go through changes.
Right.
Day to day is going to be different. Year to year is going to be different. Month to month is going to be different. So how you expect your life not to be? So you can enjoy the process as summer come and spring come, and you are equipped for that change, but you can be equipped in your own journey for the change that come. Yeah, you might know they coming. Yeah, you know, April get here, you know, you need to start maybe taking out some sandals, getting this, because you know springtime coming. But once you notice within your own journey and your own walk of life and your career, this business that you're trying to do, once you notice a change, equip to it. Get the tools that you need to fight that battle or enjoy that journey, because it's not going to always be heartache. It might be, oh man, I just got this client. I'm so nervous. I'm excited. She this, that. And then the next week, or the next month, it might be something like, I just lost this. I got into a car accident. I got to pay this. Why is this happening to me now?
Right.
But then get into your mind, you're like, why not?
Right.
Because for every loss in your life is going to be doubled and multiplied, and it's always going to be somebody pouring into your cup, regardless if you know it or not. And it starts to overflow. You can't do nothing but pour into somebody else's cup. So don't worry about when it's not full. Don't worry when things are not going right. Just enjoy the journey and equip yourself for the journey when you know changes are coming.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's, woo, that's a, man, we was going to talk about makeup. We were supposed to talk about makeup. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to be about makeup. And I don't know, you know, and I think I don't want to sound too, you know, spiritual, whatever it is, but one of the things I was doing with this show, I was like, you know, I was praying. I've been praying all week. I said, God, I just want you to take over this show, man. When people come in this show, because I know it's people dealing with stuff, man. People just going through a lot of things right now. And I said, God, I just don't want to do another live show. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about pop culture, entertainment, all that good stuff. But, you know, I want to go past that. I want to be able to speak to somebody. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to help somebody who might be going through stuff right now and you don't know what it is. And I want this to be a source of encouragement, you know, blessing to somebody. Just an hour every Tuesday, y'all. Like every Tuesday, we're going to be doing this each and every Tuesday. So tune in 7 to 8. It's going to be something for you. You know what I mean? And I tell the guests on each show, like, we're going to be vulnerable in this show. We're going to be honest. Because, you know, Maya was saying how a lot of times people want to be seen as perfect, but we're not. And the amazing thing, I think it was, is a song that says, you know, broken is what makes us human, not perfect. You know what I'm saying? And people don't realize that sometimes your imperfection is what God can use more than your perfection. And a lot of us are so focused on that, but it's your imperfection that speaks louder than that, because you're saying it's not really me, but I want the glory to be to God, and I want God to get all the glory. And so in my imperfections, and I was just thinking about even in my own life, sometimes feeling like you're not qualified for the journey. And God is saying he doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the call. So it's like you might be saying, I don't have all it takes, but the amazing thing about it is God always uses the things that you don't even look at. This is the stuff that you might overlook. Is the people that we write off people. We're like, oh my God, what are the odds? What are the chances? And I posted something on social media talking about different people in our industry, in our world today. No one would have thought that they were gonna make it this far. But that's the amazing thing about God. And God's really, man. So tune in every Tuesday, y'all. It's gonna be something for you guys. And I hope that this is a blessing to somebody watching or listening right now. But I want you to talk about some of the amazing times that you've had, you know, some of the pictures that you sent me. I saw one of you. I mean, that whole makeup was. I don't know if he was supposed to. He had an accident or something like that. Oh man, I was like, that's amazing. I saw another picture of you with the kids. Were you teaching the kids? Were you teaching them makeup? What was that about?
It was teaching makeup, but mostly a career, just seminar where people came in, talk about their journey, what they're interested in, and those were one of the topics that the kids was interested in. So they brought me in to talk to them and how to get into it and things like that. Start them off young.
Yeah, it's amazing because you've had some amazing spotlights too. I feel I was reading some of the stuff that you posted, and some of the stuff that you sent me. Talk about some of the spotlights that you've had and recognition that you've had, from different news outlets and things like that, and also some of the because you've done stuff for TV One and folk like that. So talk to us about that, because I think a lot of times people need to see how far you've come to know that God is really blessing the process, is really blessing the work.
Well, how I actually started off, I was doing I started off special effects. I started doing little like non-profit organization things. They might in October do a zombie film or something like that. Students from Howard or Georgetown that's in production, they might out to me. I started just posting stuff on Craigslist. That's how long ago, because the Instagram thing and all that stuff wasn't out. But Craigslist, things like that, just saying, hey, you need a makeup artist. And I started to realize that DC wasn't the niche for special effects. It was fun. It was entertaining. People loved it, but it wasn't going to pay the bills. It wasn't going to get me out my parents' house. And then that's when I started doing makeup. And I was just basically freelancing, entrepreneuring it, driving, still posting things on Craigslist. After that, I went into Sephora. I was the artist there for a couple of months during the holiday season. Then I got hired at MAC. It was just a stepping stone in the journey. And then from MAC, that's when I really felt like,
okay,
all right, I'm doing it.
All right. Here's the thing. So I don't want to cut you off, but I think we have about 45 seconds or so left to go. But guys, please follow her on all social media. We're gonna post this again, and she's done a lot of amazing work, and this is somebody that y'all want to follow. Y'all want to always log in and just check in with her, see what she's got going on. And I really want to thank you guys so very much. Thank you for tuning in. This is the first one. Y'all made it happen. The tribe came together. Y'all were so supportive, and we did it, y'all. This is the beginning of something great.